And folks have been talking about the importance of this being pan-governmental and that this be a cross-government effort in order to do this. You should know that we are working on this. Tony Clement is always making the effort to remind ministers across boundaries about the importance of recognizing what's next in the economy, what's next in the digital revolution, and how all industries need to be thinking about this. Certainly my department is taking serious note of that, and we'll be working with Tony, of course, this summer on the copyright consultations that we'll be doing. Jean-Pierre Blais from the department has been here. Tanya Pete, my senior policy advisor, who many of you have known since I've been appointed minister, has been here all day taking notes and meeting with many of you. And as was mentioned, there was the Canada 3.0 conference. There was the Next Media Conference at Banff, which was then followed by the World TV Festival, which incorporated a lot of those discussions. Then, of course, there's this meeting, Canada's Digital Economy meeting. The future is now, and this concept of convergence. Anybody who wants to stand in the way and think that this isn't going to happen, I mean, it's like cobwebs trying to lasso a locomotive, and it isn't going to work. The future is now, it is coming, and it is remarkable, and it's exciting. I always say that there's never been a better time to be alive than right now. Never has there been a better time to live than right now. The choices that we have, the opportunities that exist, the incredible opportunities that exist across this country for us are remarkable. And it isn't just the immediate economic benefits that we have, right? Twitter, as Tony said, Twitter basically didn't exist last year. Now I'm on it. People are twittering. I saw Michael Geist just did a Twitter about Tony Clement's comments about us doing our consultations. I mean, in real time. Michael, wherever you are, enjoy. Exactly. So, Twitter, James Moore, yes, confirmed that and pointed me out that, yes. And it's not only that. It's not only Michael Geist twittering in real time right now to his universe of people who care about the issue of copyright. But it's a key ingredient to the uprising in the streets of Iran right now. I mean, across the world this is happening. In 2 years and 5 years and 10 years and 20 years, what this will look like, we don't yet know, but we know that it's exciting and it's remarkable, and Canada can be and should be absolutely on the front edge of all of this. But of course, going forward, Minister Clement and I have both taken notice that provinces will have to be involved. On doit prendre notre responsabilité.
And we must share a responsibility with the provinces to integrate also the province of Quebec with both languages.
I'm sure it's not unique. It was unique to me when I read it in the Georgia Strait. The BCIT out in British Columbia, they now have a full-time course just for the creation of apps on the iPhone. So the idea not only is studio and music we know has become really cheap and very local, and you can create songs and sell it to the world online through your basement. But you can now create apps for an iPhone and sell it for very cheap through a program, sell it in your basement to the world. Forget 30 million Canadians, forget 300 million Americans. It's available to the entire planet. You can sell remarkable applications. So the opportunities in front of us are remarkable. And one thing I just wanted to leave you with, and this is a very important point. The average age of a member of Parliament is 55. And I point that out only to underline the fact that the average Canadian watches 26 hours of television a week. Under the age of 25, it's about 12 hours a week. But those under the age of 25 are consuming more media than ever before. But they're consuming media where they want and where they want it, on their iPhones and on their BlackBerries and on their PVRs and on their laptops, and they're doing it through mechanisms that didn't exist. And you'd be surprised the number of members of Parliament who have never held an iPhone, who couldn't tell you really functionally how a BlackBerry works, who don't understand how these things integrate. And when you ask the average member of Parliament, how do you consume your music? And they'll say, well, maybe I'll go out and I'll buy a CD and drop it into the thing and listen to it, or maybe I'll hear something on the radio on the way. You say, how do you consume movies? They'll say, well, I go to the theater when I have a time on a Friday night, or maybe I'll rent a DVD at home. And you say, well, how do you listen to radio and get your news? Well, I sit at 6 o'clock after the meal, finish the steak, watch the news, or get the paper in the morning. The old way of doing things is over. These things are all now one. And it's great, and it's never been better, and we need to be enthusiastic and embrace these things. And I point out the average age of a member of Parliament because don't assume that those who are making the decisions and who are driving this debate understand all the dynamics that are at play here. Don't assume that everybody understands the opportunities that are at play here and how great this can be for Canada. Tony's doing his job. I'm going to do my job and be a cheerleader and push this and to fight for the right balance as we go forward. But the opportunities are unbelievable and unparalleled in human history.